Mistakes are inevitably part of growing up, and it's needed to enhance our experience at different stages in our lives. Some are relatively minor and can be easily fixed. On the other hand, they could be life-changing and catastrophic with long-lasting consequences. This is especially the case when it comes to your investments. Making mistakes with your investments can cost you lots of money and losses. While some mistakes are immediately obvious, others might not be noticeable until much later in life, when the damage may be irreparable. Here are 10 common investment mistakes to avoid in 2022. 1. Not having clear investment goals. As the saying goes, if you don't know where you are going, you will probably end up nowhere. This is as true of investing as anything else. Right from the beginning, you should be very clear how you want your portfolio designed, what type of investment plan and strategy to be used. Don't focus too much on the latest investment craze or on quick gains from short-term investment. Instead, you should design an investment portfolio with long-term goals and objectives. 2. Failing to diversify. You've probably heard this expression a countless number of times: don't put all your eggs in one basket. When it comes to investing, these are wise words to live by. Diversifying your investments across different asset classes, including cash, shares and bonds, as well as across different sectors and regions, can help to minimize your losses when one type of investment underperforms. Creating a diversified investment portfolio isn't easy to do on your own, as you may require the expertise of an experienced financial advisor to help you get started. 3. Not paying attention to inflation. It is assumed by many people that keeping your money in a savings account is much safer than risking it in an investment. What they are not taking into account is the rate of inflation. If the interest rate on your savings is below the inflation rate, then your money will lose its value over time. There are several ways you can protect your money against the erosive effects of inflation, but some of the most dependable are investing in a diversified portfolio of stocks, unit trust, and cryptocurrency. 4. Not having an emergency fund. While it is essential to grow your money through investments, you must not forget to put some money aside for emergencies and miscellaneous expenses. This will help you avoid dipping in your investments to solve any money problems that may arise. There are cases where people have to resort to selling their stock prematurely to meet their immediate financial needs. 5. Taking a short-term view. The stock market can be very volatile, with share prices fluctuating every now and then. For this reason, you should always invest with a long-term view. Speculating on performance in the short term can be a recipe for disaster, because it can make you second-guess your strategy and motivate short-term portfolio modifications. Avoid panicking when prices are down, and give it some time, at least a minimum of 5 years. That way, you allow your stocks time to recover from the market downturns and grow your portfolio over time. 6. Expecting too much. Investing for the long term involves creating a well-diversified portfolio designed to provide you with the appropriate levels of risk and return under a variety of market scenarios. But even after designing the right portfolio, no one can predict or control future market returns. It is important not to raise your expectations too much and to be modest when figuring out what to expect. Nobody can tell you what a reasonable rate of return is without having an understanding of your goals and investment objectives. 7. Refusing to accept losses. Another common mistake is not knowing when to call it quits and refusing to take losses. Many a times, people hold on to an underperforming stock in the hopes the share price will recover. The trick here is recognizing the fact that the investment circumstances have changed. Leaving funds tied up in a company with poor prospects, rather than reinvesting into something where the prospects are brighter, could really cost you over the long run. 8. Paying too much in fees and commissions. Investing in a high-cost fund or paying too much in advisory fees is a common mistake often experienced by investors. It might not seem like much, but even a small increase in fees can have a significant effect on your wealth over the long term. Before opening an account, be aware of the potential cost of every investment decision. Seek out funds that have fees that make sense, and make sure you are receiving value for the advisory fees you are paying. 9. Buying high and selling low. The fundamental principle of investing is to buy low and sell high, which brings us to the question of, why do so many investors do the opposite? Rather than being rational, many investment decisions are motivated by fear or greed. In many cases, investors buy high in an attempt to maximize short-term returns, instead of trying to achieve long-term investment goals. Too much focus on near-term returns can lead to investing in the latest investment craze, or obsessing over investment strategies that were effective in the near past. Either way, once an investment has become popular and gained the public's attention, it becomes more difficult to have an edge in determining its value. 10. Believing in past performances. Just like you don't look backwards when walking, you should look ahead when investing. Funds that performed well in the past always had a good reason for doing so. That does not guarantee they will do as well in the future. It's natural for people to seek the mental comfort of buying something that has previously done well. However, you have to be very careful when doing so, because in most cases, the past will not have any bearing on the future.